Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Stefan Denner. I'm a PhD student at the German Cancer Research Center within the Medical Image Computing Group. And today I will give you an introduction about the datasets view on Kaapana. The datasets view is the view which allows you exploring all the data, visualizing the data, and organizing it. It's mainly structured in three components. This top part here with the search and the selection of the dataset and text is for dataset management. On the bottom, we have the visualization with a thumbnail and the metadata for each series. And on the right side, we have the dashboard, which visualizes the aggregated metadata of the selection on the left side. Let's start with the search. This here is a full text search, so whatever you type in here, for example, let's go for lung and this star, search queries all the metadata we have on the platform for this lung query. And here you see that this is, for example, in this case, is the patient name. In some other cases, it might be a different field. If you want to search for a very specific tag, then you can, for example, go here for modality and select CT, but I also want to see, for example, segmentations. And now I want to search for another tag, patient name, for example, and here where it's very useful that you have all the patient names, and you can also search for something like lung, for example. Let's select a few. Oops. And now search for it. There you see that it's basically adjusted. Here on the right side, we have found 25 series. You can see it, and here you see the metadata distribution of all the series. And now you have already trimmed down your selection a lot, but you might still be interested in tagging this data. Let's collapse this for now and just create some tags. So we go for an accept and reject tag, although this makes, in this case, probably not too much sense, but let's still go for it. You can activate it by clicking on accept, reject, or what you can also do is like pressing the key on one will activate the accept to the reject. And now assigning the tag is also very easy. You just click on the specific series, changing it to by just pressing one, changes also the tag. And of course you can have multiple tags. What you can also do is actually assigning multiple tags at once. In this case, it doesn't make too much sense, but let's go for it. We activate two tags. Clicking on one series assigns both tags, for example. Now you maybe have already tagged all the series you're interested in. Let's clear the filters for now and search again. Let's deactivate the tags. And let's actually use here on the right side, you can also just click on it, go for CT images. You select certain CT images with just clicking on them. And now you can do, for example, command and continue the selection. And there's also the option to, if you now press command and drag, then multiple series are selected. And here you see on the right side how the metadata is also updated. And what you can then do is you can create a new dataset from this. So let's go for it. Let's create a dataset tutorial. Let's save it. Dataset already exists. Let's go for tutorial 2. Now it's created. We can go for tutorial 2. We have all the data in. Now you might see, okay, we have here this reject. So let's delete it actually. And this you can do also with multiple. Let's take more. With this option, remove from dataset, you can confirm it, it's removed. But what you can also do is going back to storing all the data. You select some more, also with command. Let's go for it. Whatever it is, it's 36. And we add this to an existing dataset, in this case tutorial 2. Saving it, and then going to tutorial 2, and you see the data is added. So far, so good. What you probably have already noticed, like for RT-struct and segmentations, we have this overlay of the segmentations, and this is especially useful for, or maybe in general, how useful actually the thumbnails are. You can see here in data, for example, sometimes you have just noise, sometimes you have a patient protocol you might not be interested in, and also here you have some segmentations, and you can also do some quality review on this. And for example, in this case, we see those are some segmentations from the NA unit, which was just not very well trained. You see that the segmentations are off, and when you now want to have a deeper look in the segmentation, you just double click or click on this eye, and then on the right side, the series opens in a 3D viewer. You can scroll through it. The segmentations are overlaid. You can also see, for example, here's some artifacts. And here you have the metadata table with some, which is searchable. Go for patient. And now, for example, if you want to select another one, comparing it, then you see, okay, this one patient is 72 years old. Okay, this one as well. Oh no, this one is 66 and this one is 76, for example. That's very convenient. And if you are done with that, let's go back to this. I think this is mostly what I want to show for this view for now. What you can also do, so sometimes it might be the case that this is not the metadata you are actually not interested in, but you want to see some other metadata, then you can go here on settings. So with this checkbox here, you can decide if you want to have this metadata at all. Then we have this column here, which indicates, okay, should the certain field or tag here be shown on the dashboard? And the dashboard is here on the right side. For example, manufacturer should be shown. This is this chart. Modality is this chart. Tags is not shown because there are no tags apparently so far. Let's skip patient view and study view for now. Then we have the series card, which indicates which fields should be shown within this series card. And then we have this truncate option, which means, for example, here you can see it, that it's truncated. The series description especially is very long. And this is something you might not want because you want to have the specific tags in just one row so you can quickly compare it. If you don't care, then you can just deactivate the truncation. And you can, of course, if all those fields are not what you're interested in, of course, you can also add any other field. In this case, let's go for patient age. And then you can decide, okay, do I have it on the dashboard? Do I want to have it on the dashboard, on the series card, or do I want to have it truncated, which wouldn't make too much sense in this case. And now let's come to this patient view and study view. And this goes along with this structured view here on top. So let's activate it. And the structured view, as opposed to how it is now, that only series are shown, the structured view structures it so that you first have your patient. Within the patient, you have the studies, and within the studies, you have the series. So, and for this, you can here select the patient view, which metadata should be shown, and for the study, which metadata should be shown. Let's just save it and see what happens. The page reloads, and here you have the the patient card. Then you have the study card, and within the study card, you have the different series within the study. And here, of course, you have the metadata attached to it. So 3 more things to show. Let's go back to our tutorial 2 dataset. You might want to run an algorithm with just in selection and not defining a dataset. So you can just go for some selection here. Maybe let's limit it to CT for now, actually. CT. This is also very easily done. So you have 3 items selected, and then you can, for example, here run total segmentator on it. You can accept it, accept the publication, and then start. And now in the background, the workflow is triggered. That's one thing I want to show. The other thing I want to show is that, for example, if you have a data set, you can go to this dataset overview, which is just this button here on the right. where you see the name, the size, who created it, and when and it was created and updated. If you now click here on deleting a dataset, then this will delete the dataset itself, but it won't delete the series which are in the dataset, this is very important. And another thing I want to show is that here on the right side, let's actually go back to the original. You can also zoom in here, of course. I think I already showed this, that you can, by just clicking on the columns, you set those tags. That's very convenient. And what you can also do is actually you can download the data as an SVG or a PNG, which is just a screenshot basically of the chart, but you can also download as a CSV, which is, for example, relevant if you want to go for a patient list. And I think that's pretty much what I wanted to show. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please also check our docs, and then see you in the next tutorial. Thank you very much.